welcome to another edition of the Quarter Point podcast. We've reached 12. This is the second six that we've just hit. First one was hit massively by Dave Tyagi. The ball still can't be found. So, as we begin the 12th podcast, before we introduce our special guest, Raj, guys, I would really urge you to start supporting India at the Olympics because they've done phenomenally well by winning against New Zealand today. They've already won a silver medal too. So just rally behind India. The team needs our support. And when they do well, we feel inspired. So that was a message I would like to just pass out to our viewers. So, guys, Raj he works at Hafley, which is a modular kitchen company. He's an ardent cricket lover. He plays cricket. He plays the corporate tournament, which is the Time Shield. He plays another tournament in Bombay called as the Bengal League. He plays the Fathers League, who he doesn't look like a father, but I guess he is, but he still looks very young. Don't go on his hairline, bro. And so over to you, Raj. Tell us about your earliest memories of the game.
Yeah, as a typical Indian, I am also a cricket passionate guy. So I started following cricket since 1992 World Cup. So I was 9 years old that time, and at that time, if you remember, Indian team was really struggling. After the '83 World Cup and '87 World Cup, there was a fall in in terms of victories and in terms of series, because after the greats had been retired, they did not get the best replacements. Though we got Sachin in 1989, I agree, but there was still a gap which was felt after many of the old guys had retired. So 92 was where India was struggling, and I started following since then. Uh, if you see the last 3 decades, in the 1990s, the 2000s, and from 2010 to 20, there has been a good uh, growth in terms of victories and number of series, overseas victories, getting good players, the records happening. Uh, 1990s, particularly, I was really not happy with the team we had in terms of bowling. If you remember, ever did you guys remember somebody hitting a batsman on the helmet, or when we had gone across to England or Australia, except the one ball which hit Merrick Pringle accidentally and ruined his career. But I don't remember having a great fast bowling attack in 1990s after the great Kapil Dev retired. Uh, Also, thanks to the slip cordon we had that time, Srinath would have been ending up with 500 wickets if the slip cordon would have been
Or
good.
if Rahul Dravid
But
would have debuted earlier.
yeah, certainly. He should have come in the early 90s,
This is Srinath's
and
career.
I mean his. But yeah, that was a sad feeling that every if you compare Pakistan at that time, any score in one day like 180 plus or 200 was a victory score for them. They used to defend it, and for us it was impossible to defend it. We always were relying on our batting to cross 250 plus, and then our spinners doing something. But if you see Pakistan, I remember 9 out of 10 matches they would have just win it if the score was 180 plus. I was just also going through the records. I was seeing India Pakistan records. So if you see most of the cups during that time in the decade of 1990s were won by Pakistan. It may it be Asia Cup, the Singer Cup, the Sharjah Cups. Sharjah Cups, so they won single-handedly 9 out of 10 times, right? And this was because at that time, the selection, I guess, of the players was done purely on the talent basis. Okay, and they did not see anything else but the raw talent. You must have heard the stories of how Imran Khan got Inzamam and Waqar like overnight from a tennis game, and he made a team out of them. And
Tell us,
we
yeah.
still
Tell
had
us on that.
yeah, these are the stories. Like Inzamam and Waqar were the most they were great in terms of tennis ball cricket at that time they were playing. And what we have heard is Imran Khan used to personally go to these grounds during weekends or so, and he used to pick players to get them to the nets. And this is how he has got Inzamam and Waqar, and both of them became legends afterwards. Uh, in
Inzamam
our
not so in
format,
his.
if you
I don't think Inzamam became a
sorry,
legend in his running, but definitely in his batting.
definitely, he was a legend in his batting, though he had maximum unfortunate runouts also and funny dismissals also. But
Dave,
he was
any
a
two
legend of the
words on
game.
Inzamam for you?
He's an absolute legend of the game.
In fact,
Uh, I
you
mean,
just written an article also on Corded Point, right? On Inzamam Udap.
I have edited an article written by another writer called Abhinav Bose, who's a fantastic writer, much like yourself. And I think he was like the lazy Thor, which is like the title of the article. And, Inzamam perhaps could have ended up with, I would say, 1,500, 2,000 runs more, had it not been for some of the vague selection policies and a bit of a out being in and out of form. But I remember the 2007 World Cup was not a great exit. The last World Cup in which he starred, it was neither a great exit for the great Brian Lara nor was it for Inzamam. And I think he was about to break the record of Javed Miandad or someone when he got himself stumped in his final Test innings, if that's correct. And it's been very unfortunate that half his career he was booed in the stands simply because people used to call him a potato, which is so not done. Because had it been this era, he would have, I think, won the Grand Prix of being body shamed, which is not an award you want to win. But I think to his country, he's been an outstanding legend. And one particular memory, if I might add, is the massive six he hit on Curtly Ambrose in the tour down to the Caribbean. I think this was in 2000, 2 decades, 2000 2001 series against the West Indies. He was an excellent hooker of the ball.
So Raj, tell us when you had, say, a Wasim Akram or a Waqar Younis bowling to the master blaster Sachin Tendulkar. So how was your emotion when you used to see this in the 90s?
Yeah, so if you remember 90s, Wasim Akram used to directly say in the presentation ceremonies and all that, we just wanted one wicket and the match was over. He used to directly say this. And this was exactly the picture that Sachin out, match khatam. So what happened is
तो आप
Sachin
भी टीवी
was
बंद कर
under
देते थे
X.
क्या जब सचिन आउट होता था?
No. To be very frank with you, as I told you, I was a great fan of Pakistani bowling.
अच्छा आप खुश हो
I
जाते
grew
थे?
up. Sorry?
जब सचिन आउट होता था तो आप खुश हो जाते थे?
No, not at all, not at all. But it is not that कि just Sachin out हो गया match बंद कर दो. Cricket is cricket after all. I am a fan of swing bowling. I used to enjoy the reverse swing bowled by all these bowlers. And that time, Akram, Waqar, Aqib Javed, they were at their peak of their career. And to top over it at 1999, Shoaib Akhtar came in, right? I mean, this was icing on the cake for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was the emotion that Sachin was, always to get out in early 10 overs or something, and the match used to get over. All the matches which Sachin played were mostly, during batting first. Chasing 200 plus against Pakistan was really impossible. Really impossible. And this started in early 2000s, I would say, where we got some fearless cricketers like Yuvraj Singh and all the youngsters started coming in. As I was talking earlier, that what change happened from 90s to in early 2000s was we started picking up players from under 19, where they were very much agile. Fielding was given more importance. Strike rate was given more importance. And then you saw in the likes of KF and Yuvraj coming in and playing little fast. They're taking catches. Fielding was given utmost importance at that time. And then we have chased 300 plus against
I
Pakistan
think
also.
I'll just add one point to that. I think the fielding had started improving already in the Jadeja and Robinson era. So
Yeah.
KF, the inclusion of KF only lifted it to a new notch. But
Yes.
Robinson and Jadeja were outstanding athletes.
Even Mohammad Azharuddin. So I would say in 1990s we had 2 or 3 good fielders, which increased to 4 or 5 in 2000s. And now if you see, uh, more than talent, fitness is given first preference. So if you cannot pass a yo-yo test or a bleep test, however good you are, you cannot be in the team. Okay, so fitness is given first priority, then fielding, because they always calculate now that saving 30 runs in the fielding while fielding is like scoring 30 runs by a tailender also. You know? So now if you see, you will have only 1 or 2 fielders to hide. That too because their throw is not good. I mean, then you can only say in the current team the slowest would be Ashwin in terms of Test cricket, right? But rest of the team is high class in fielding, and this is how it has changed. In 1990s, this was not the case. Azharuddin, Robin Singh, and Jadeja were the only fielders, as you said.
Yeah.
So, Raj, tell me, or rather tell us, so after Azhar, from the time Ganguly took over the captaincy, what kind of a change did you see in the Indian setup?
Uh, as I told you, in 1990s, while Azhar was there as a captain, most of the selections were done from the Ranji trophies and the Duleep trophies, kind of thing. So people coming in uh, at that time, it was okay to take those players in the test matches, but in the one days, it was really not fitting. If you remember players like S.S. Das, Devang Gandhi, then Jacob Martin, all those players coming in and just going after playing, their career was over within 10 or 15 matches.
Hemang
And
Badani was also there at that time.
yeah, Hemang Badani was still better, I would say, in terms of one-day cricket. But all these rest players who were coming were really,
These guys, yeah.
yeah. So what happened is, as I told you, they still kept Ranji Trophy as a preference for Test cricket, and for one-day cricket they started picking up from under 19, and this is where the change happened. And Ganguly, the leadership, is something I look forward for, because Ganguly was such a leader that he would demand that when he wants some particular player, he wants it. That's it. Otherwise, he won't play. So this is what he used to rule, and uh, to a certain extent, it proved also. It proved that he got youngsters. It changed the face of the Indian cricket team. It was at time it was titled as slow and sluggish in fielding. It changed, and they also got the players like Virendra Sehwag by that time, Zahir Khan. So entire thing was changing. And to one more point, if you remember, the MRF Pace Academy was started in 1987. Okay, it and normally normally any organization you see, or any infrastructure change you see, it starts giving fruits after 8 to 10 years. So in the late 90s, it started giving us good pace bowlers. It was, I guess, if I'm not wrong, directly under Dennis Lilly, and he used to select players all over the country. And currently also it is running good. If you see now, Kohli is actually demanding fast, means fast, right arm fast, not medium fast or fast medium. And this is also through the MRF Pace Academy. I guess currently, if I'm not wrong, the director is Glenn McGrath, and he's looking after and nurturing talent there in India. So this change also happened during
After having
Ganguly's.
abused Indian cricketers at his peak in India, he's now, finding a good lucrative option working in India, which is fine. It helps us. But during his playing days, he was poisonous. He was venomous, I would say.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So as Pranay was saying, this was also one of the change which helped during Ganguly's tenure, that we got some good fast bowlers coming in rather than we had only those two or three in 1990s. So if you see, options started, there were a lot of options for a captain to take in, like it has happened now, that now there is so much of talent pool. Okay, so we have divided it in two teams where one is going for test and one is going for one day. This is the latest one. So this just kept on happening from Ganguly to Dhoni, Dhoni to Kohli, and hope we have that much talent pool again forever. Let's see.
But Raj, tell me, so when Ganguly was the captain, his deputy was the person we worship on this podcast, Rahul Sharad Dravid. What's the role that you've seen him play in the evolution of Indian cricket?
Absolutely. I mean, there is no other word than wall, because whenever any obstacle had come, he used to stop it. For example, whether it is test or whether it is a one day, maximum partnerships have happened with Dravid. The other player has always kept on changing, whether it is Tendulkar Dravid, whether it is Ganguly Dravid. In 1990s also, later 1990s, there were a lot of maximum partnerships I used to see between Azhar and Dravid in the middle order. But Dravid has not only helped in terms of partnerships. He has also developed some players within the team, like all of the young guys used to say that time, like Yuvraj and Kef. We look up to Dravid not only for his batting but for his temperament also. Main thing what is missing in current team is the temperament. You saw in the third match yesterday, everybody is in the T20 mode, and that's why I guess they have given the responsibility to Rahul Dravid to maybe shape them up for one day. This is what Rahul Dravid also did in that team, where uh, he had few senior players like Tendulkar and Dravid, but there were always some junior players where he used to constantly guide, coach, and any technical matter they used to always consult Rahul Dravid. And sorry, there's a glitch. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. So in any case, if you see, Dravid was always there in terms of partnerships, as I said, and in terms of a deputy, he was never in picture, but he used to always give those healthy suggestions to Ganguly, which we have seen in terms of when he fought for Kumble in 2004 series, where Rahul Dravid was also one of the consultants, and they just fought for Kumble. Kumble was dropped from that series, if you remember. And finally, Ganguly had to make a stand that I'm not going there without Kumble. And this was backed by Dravid. This was his suggestion to Ganguly, and which proved, I guess Kumble ended up taking highest number of wickets for India in that series in 2004.
A cricketer
no
who hasn't
conversation
really
is
been-
complete without Dave Tyagi mentioning something on Dravid.
No, that's not the point. I think another cricketer who hasn't really been given his due, Anil Kumble, because he was there serving the Indian cricket in absolute capacity even after he retired as a player and an occasional photographer, capturing some key moments. But the way in which he was ousted as the head coach was very sad, and I don't see a single publication, pointing fingers where they should have, and we know in what direction they should have been pointed at. But it's just sad. Kumble has done a lot, far more than what he's been given credit for. One of the innings which I remember was the match-winning innings against Australia in the Titan
With Srinath.
Srinath at the other end. That was
In
brilliant.
Bangalore, yeah. Their mothers
That
were
was
also
just
watching from the stands. Yeah. They were so happy.
and cheering and jumping, and that was beautiful. One great memory watching Indian cricket as a fan in my childhood.
So Raj,
And
tell me, when you compare Kumble as the head coach of India versus Ravi Shastri, what's the difference that you see here?
see, as Dave mentioned, he was ousted in a very bad manner. I mean, I would have not liked that. If you remember, I had read all the interviews related to this position that time. Ravi Shastri had given the interview from Bangkok, and there was
From
some
Bangkok,
kind of
he was there for
yeah,
a
yeah,
business meeting. I'm sure.
yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Ravi Shastri had given this interview from Bangkok when Kumble was made the head coach. He expressed his disappointment that why I was not selected. At that time, Ganguly only said one thing: if you were so serious, you would have attended the interview and not attended the
In
interview
Bangkok.
via laptop in Bangkok. Okay,
Yeah.
so even I feel even Ganguly, for that matter, knows what is good and what is not good for Indian cricket. But since Ganguly has come now after Ravi Shastri is the coach, and for obvious reasons he would be pointed fingers at that. जैसे ही Ganguly आया उसको हटा दिया. He is still waiting for the right time. But I still feel Kumble would have been a great coach. Why Kumble would have opted out to go is Kohli is very strong right now as a captain. And with both the
Especially versus
attitudes,
Bangalore.
if you match the attitudes with
No,
of
suddenly
Kumble
we see
and
a
Kohli,
smile on Dave's face when you said that Kohli is a very strong. Suddenly, my
yeah, as a
friend Dave
captain,
Tyagi started smiling.
see, currently people do what Kohli says in BCCI. You must agree with this. However, I also don't like Virat Kohli as a captain. To be very frank with you, he
Do
might
you
be
want
one of the
us?
greatest.
Do you want our podcast to go off air? We are trying to get BCCI accreditation. Virat Kohli Saab, good morning Saab, good evening, good afternoon. No,
No,
continue, continue, please.
Virat Kohli is still I would say the greatest player in the current format, current number of players you can say, but he's not the greatest captain for sure. He's
For
not the
sure.
greatest
Yeah.
captain. If you want me to elaborate on this, I can elaborate the
No,
whole
no, please, please,
2019
please do. Please do. Please do.
but no, I mean 2015 after Dhoni, you were the captain. You were named captain because Dhoni wanted you to give 4 years so that you shape up the team, right? Dhoni himself retired and gave the captaincy to him, right? Dhoni could have still been the captain till 2019, but he did
True.
not. He gave him 4 years so that there's a proper team formation which is made. He brings in, or Dhoni brings in, or whoever bring in Kedar Jadhav. They shape him up as an all-rounder for 4 years.
By the way,
Okay.
Pranay and me refer to Kedar Yadav as a thumb drive, pen drive, because of the towering structure, which is larger than Curtly Ambrose. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
He's a great fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, pen drive
So-
from Pune.
This is just one case I'm telling. You bring him as your batsman at number 6 or number 5, and then he is also developed as an all-rounder. Uh, and suddenly in the semi-final, when Kedar Jadhav is playing good, suddenly in semi-final you just keep 5 bowlers. You just drive him out and you take Dinesh Karthik. He did not play a single match, and he plays
And
directly a
how many
semi-final.
runs did he make against New Zealand? Dinesh Karthik. He just hardly made any runs.
Hardly. He got out
Now
immediately
he's
at point.
getting headlines for wearing
But-
multicolor shirts in England, doing commentary. I mean,
Acha,
great for his commentary career, but
just for a bad PJ, he was also caught at point.
yeah, oh God, Dinesh Karthik
But
and our website.
tell me, Raj and Dave, didn't Dhoni also play very slow in that match? With New Zealand,
Yes.
India still having a chance to win, but Dhoni decided that अभी क्या करना है, वापस चलते हैं.
Yes,
I have
I
a
mean,
personal. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you can please tell. I'll wait. No problem.
I have a personal theory, Pranay. If you ask me honestly, I've been a huge Dhoni admirer since so many years. But the 2019 World Cup would have been the first stepping stone to test Rishabh Pant. He was neither in his great reflexes as a batsman, nor in his. I think there were a couple of catches also that were put down by Dhoni. And this is the electrifying presence behind the wickets. So I really think that the right choice to introduce Rishabh Pant. I mean, when you can have a 22-year-old Shimron Hetmeyer, a 21-year-old, 23-year-old, I don't know, youngsters playing in that tournament, why can't you have a Rishabh Pant there? So I don't think Dhoni was the right choice any which ways for 2019 World Cup, taking nothing away from his excellence in leadership and his charismatic numbers as a batsman.
Raj.
No, but it's what I feel is, as I told you, the formation of the team for 4 years. Your team for next World Cup starts as soon as the earlier World Cup ends, and
But when did Kohli become the ODI captain? Sorry, I'm a little.
it's after 2015 when till 2015 he did the captaincy, Dhoni, and after that he gave it to Kohli somewhere around 15 and or
Pranay, you have a
16.
surprise test coming up on Monday, so you better memorize all these facts about Indian cricket. I'm not liking it, please.
Dave, I've already failed it.
It's a surprise test on Monday, 3 p.m.
I fail from now. F dal de wahan pe.
Your eagerness to learn about Indian cricket is beautiful. So continue, Raj. Raj, I have a question to ask you. Any particular Sehwag innings you enjoyed a lot, and what's your take on Irfan Pathan? Because under Dravid's guidance, you were talking about a lot of players who looked up to Dravid. So Pathan, one of the Pathan brothers, definitely looked up to Dravid as well. But starting from Sehwag, what's his favorite innings of yours?
Of course, the Multan one,
Oh,
where he got a triple century, because
right.
he dictated it like a boss that time. I mean, that I had seen an interview of Rana Naved
अरे एक मिनट
just
आपने
before.
बॉस बोला है पहले हम क्रिस गेल को सॉरी बोल देते हैं हम किसी और को भी बॉस सॉरी गेल
He's the universe boss.
Universe boss. Really.
So in that match, he really played like a champion. I remember the interview of Rana Naved where he had reached that level to say that we are scared of Sehwag. So he said that actually, that whenever he
And
comes, we
once
are
he
really
was being
scared.
hit so much that the Delhi crowd decided to throw a shoe at him, which was so not done. And I don't think he packed it back in his luggage going back to Pakistan. वो क्या करता है?
I
एक दूसरे का क्या करता है? वो दोनों चाहिए थे ना उसको.
या उसको आई गेस 5 बाउंड्री मारा था इस ओवर में शायद.
वो सबने मारा है. लारा ने भी इतना मारा है. सहवाग, everybody hit him. He was such a very hardworking toiler for Pakistan.
So during that series, if you remember, he hit 6 from 195. He hit a 6 from 295 of Suckling, and that was just like
go long on or something.
That were the moments to enjoy for me. You just understand that India Pakistan cricket, I was just looking for last 10 years, and how many times I would have seen this. Very less times, because in my memory when I was growing up, that we used to always lose to Pakistan, and this is where the era changed. And I was elated in that match, so much elated that I was seeing all the Pakistani bowlers being smashed after a long time, and that too brutally. So I still rate his innings of Multan as number one.
All right.
अच्छा
You have
राज
a different inning to remember?
Sorry?
Dave?
Yeah.
Do you have a different inning of Sehwag that is memorable?
I enjoyed the one in which he made a double century against South Africa, hitting Antini and Steyn to all parts of the ground. He was brilliant. And I also enjoyed his double century against West Indies in Indore in an ODI. I think that was fantastic. I think that was Indore only where he made a double century. Probably Indore or Jaipur. I think Indore.
I guess he was captaining that side.
The reason I really appreciate Dave is that whenever he criticizes South Africa, he has to criticize West Indies. It just goes hand in hand. Acha guys, so we have about 8.5 minutes left. So Raj, let's discuss about the all-rounders. You were talking about Jack Callis, Andrew Flintoff, and Kapil Dev as the ones you really
Yeah.
like offline.
Yes.
And after that,
uh,
give us a parting message.
Sure. So there, as I was telling that there were few impactful all rounders which start for 1 or 2 years, or like not that legendary, but Andrew Flintoff, he was one of my favorite all rounders. Uh, he he was impactful in his bowling. He used to have, if you remember, the
The spell
dismissals
to
of
Jack
Ricky
Callis.
Ponting,
Oh,
Ricky Ponting. You must have remembered that over, right? Of Ricky Ponting in Ashes
2005.
2005. I guess
Uh,
Ashes 2005 was man of the series, if I'm not wrong. And this
At that
was,
time, I became an England fan. Yeah. I mean, they
yeah,
played like
I mean,
complete
he was
lines.
absolutely lethal that time in terms of bowling as well as batting. And
For a change, I was liking another one, not one.
if you remember that time, if you
I
really
hope it
enjoy Test
wasn't
cricket,
Chadwick Walton. Continue,
so
Raj.
yeah, so basically I became fan of Andrew Flintoff during Ashes 2005, and the spells he used to bowl after in those couple of matches in 1 or 2 years. You remember that spell to Jack Callis also, I guess.
Of course, he
Uh,
plotted the downfall so beautifully. Each ball was pitched in a different area. I mean, having a
Absolutely,
batsman like Callis on the back foot was exemplary.
and
Can say
having
that
few bad
Jack
decisions
was
as well.
jacked by Andrew.
Yes.
Hmm.
क्या बात है भाई तूने? Well done. You memorized all
Another
the jokes I told you last night. Thank you.
Another all-rounder I used to love was Lance Klusener.
Oh,
Oh,
Pranay, are you
Zulu, the
emotional
white
already?
Zulu.
Zulu
Is
was
this
one
about
of
to
my
break
favorite.
down now?
I was in 10th standard. I actually cried in 1999 semi-final for Zulu.
अरे सर, I broke my TV.
Are you serious?
हाँ, उसके बाद मेरे पिताजी ने 5 साल तक टीवी नहीं दिया मेरे.
He's talking about the Lego one with which he used to play as a grown-up kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you remember, Zulu was one of those cricketers who always played selflessly, and he was very fearless. The way he smashed Shoaib Akhtar also in 1999
He
World
was
Cup,
fearless.
if
There
you
was
remember,
no fear like word in his dictionary.
there
He
was
was
You
no
talk about
other.
hitting through point,
He used
hitting
to
through
only attack.
cover,
absolutely.
hoisting it over mid-on.
I guess South Africa are chokers by destiny, because even if you have players like Zulu and they took it to that level and still you lose, then that is really sad. That is
Sir, moving
really
on.
sad. That's
South African
I'm
chokers
sorry.
पे आज नहीं जाएंगे. किसी और दिन बात करें.
I'm sorry, but मतलब ये बोल रहा हूँ कि नसीब से है. They are
I think I
really
just
good.
got a text from AB de Villiers. How dare you three idiots say this about my team? Otherwise, I will come back into the World Cup side. No, you're not needed. Bye. Sorry.
Dude, he just
His
decided
board
right now to
rejected him.
come back. Next minute he will say that I can't.
No, I can't.
His board rejected him in 2019, if I'm not wrong.
They would,
I mean,
no?
you
I
can't.
mean, you say one moment that you're coming back, then you say you don't want to come back, then you get Razi van der Dusen for him. So obviously they'll give a chance to Razi. Why would they get AB back?
Just quickly tell me, Raj, any other players in that era where India was undergoing this great transformational leadership, players that you enjoyed? Anyone apart from Palace and
Yes.
Flintoff?
Yeah, I would like to mention 2-3 players of India, due to which we were successful in getting the ICC trophies, and they are never mentioned. And those are the players who are big match players. If you see, Yuvraj Singh is one of the players who is a big match player, and the most underrated player is Gautam Gambhir. He has always played in all big matches. Both the World Cup finals, if you see, it was Gautam Gambhir who made the stand. I guess 57 balls, 75 in 2007, and I guess 97. I guess 97 in 2011 World Cup. And if you remember, nobody expected him out of this, expected this out of him, because you remember the silence at Wankhede at 32 for 2. Sehwag and Sachin both got out, and then people thought that now it's really difficult to do it. But the way he stood up that day and attacked
97.
all the 97. It was really good, and these are the players who are never mentioned. But India today, what is India needing today is the big match players. You see, in which semi-final or final has Kohli or Rohit Sharma played a good innings? I don't remember.
I think it's for the
Neither
fanboys to answer now. The
I
trollers
don't
of
remember.
purist cricketers.
I
Two
don't remember.
remarkable
But
batsmen, no doubt about it. But your question is very valid.
so those are the players I really enjoyed, Gautam Gambhir and Yuvraj Singh.
You know,
And
Rajan Dev, what is Sehwag's
the
biggest
most
regret? He couldn't get Gambhir
Right.
to laugh because of Gautam Gambhir. Sorry, guys.
All right, guys.
So Raj,
So
we have about 2 minutes left, so give us some parting words.
and do praise us if you
Yeah.
can, because we've
Yeah,
given
do
you
praise
what,
us,
25
yeah.
lakh rupees in the Monopoly game, the Monopoly currency.
No. It has been a pleasure to be here, because I love people who are passionate about cricket, and there were some really some facts I did not know from coming in from Dev, and it was really good
His
to know
name is
about it.
Dev Factual Tyagi. So faxi pink.
DFT, almost like a pesticide. Thanks.
क्रिक इन्फो इसके दिमाग में बसा हुआ है, I
नहीं
guess.
सर, हम
And
दोनों को क्रिक इन्फो ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं लगता है. क्वार्टेड पॉइंट इसके दिमाग में बसा हुआ, मेरे जहन.
yeah, that is there. I mean, for statistics.
हाँ हाँ,
I meant it for
100%.
Yeah, I
statistics.
do refer to that
100%.
wonderful website from time to time. Yes,
Yeah,
they're
100%.
doing
yeah.
remarkable content.
Yeah. So, just being a cricket's one of the big fans, I really enjoyed talking to you guys, and
So did
I look forward that you complete many more episodes, and we shall discuss this 10 years down the line also, once when we are closing to 45,
Thank you,
50.
we'll
thank you.
discuss with you again.
Thank you.
This is just the first episode on which we've come. We'll have more discussions
Yes.
going forward.
Sure,
It's been
sure,
good
sure.
talking to you.
So
I would wish you all the best, guys, and I hope someday soon you are also talking to the cricketers who are professional, like, who have played India or the Ranji Trophy. I wish you the best of luck for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Raj.
guys, this was Raj and Dev with another episode of the Potted Point podcast. Obviously, me, Pranay.
Along
So
with
please
Pranay.
like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends. We need subscriptions until we bring another episode. This is us three signing off. Take care, guys. And please
Thank you,
support
guys.
India at the Olympics. Please, please, please.
Please do it. Please do it, guys. Please do it.
Thank you.